Hey, what's going on, everybody? I want to show you something because I get these, DMs, and I don't know if people are being genuine or whatnot, but for 2026, we're going to give it all the way live. And I wanted to show this book because people always say, oh man, your kids are blessed. They get to travel and all this other stuff. And I say, yeah, my kids are blessed because they get to travel, but more importantly, they're blessed because of what I put in their hands to read, the things that they have to do, the chores that they have to do, um, so they can be, great citizens and contribute to the world. But this book right here is one of the books I just picked up because I watched Miss Melody. And if you don't know, Miss Melody is great in finance. A lot of times people know her being married to George Lucas, and she has her own child. But this book is giving basic, and then you get to see Miss Melody. But it's giving, so many tips, and I don't want to mess up where my kid uh ended, because I got them the book today and said, hey man, check this book out. But it's just like fun facts. And I want to tell people the problem isn't that your kids aren't interested in stuff like this. The thing is, you rather go buy Robux and have them do TikTok dances, and about filters and surgery and which car to get. But it's like, get your kids happy to go to the library. Get your kids happy to pick up a book and learn something. You know, this stuff that anybody can do. It's free, and this is, when we couldn't travel as kids because we didn't know anything about traveling, abroad, we would travel in books. And that's one thing that I'd always say teachers and parents and grandparents and everybody would tell us, this is a big game of Monopoly. They never explain it to you, but you gotta go find out. You gotta know where the assets are so you don't have to keep being the labor no matter what you do. I know people who are professional athletes like, man, I can't wait to stop having this abuse on my body. And they feel stuck. So I can only imagine the person who is not making them amount of money, living paycheck to paycheck, how stuck. And we've all been there where we're like, what are we gonna do? Right? What's gonna be the next thing? But don't feel bad for yourself because not because you're lazy, but it's because you are not playing the game, and maybe you weren't given the game, and that's why I have things like Diversified Game Podcast to kinda show you the real game, so you know more about the game than you know about filters, because travel is nice, but knowledge travels further, and if your kids learn the game early, they won't hate their job later, and that's the real gift. That's the real gift. Can you show your kids and can they beat you? Can they be better than you? So they don't have to be in debt. So they don't have to know what a bankruptcy is. So they don't have to know what, filters are or the way surgery is going now, man. Who knows what people look like. But I wanted to give this game because this is the what people need to be on. We need to know more about this and be thankful that somebody put books like this together. And it's personal to me because we write children's books and we put books, the London and Sydney Explore the World, because it's not just travel. I'm documenting history. I'm documenting, and we're teaching you about places that maybe your kids or you never go physically, but you can go there mentally, and that's the benefit. And it's not to beat anybody up because sometimes people just want to be entertained. They rather you say something funny and shocking. I often reference some of the shock jocks like Charleston White. Hey, excuse me, it's late out here, but the fact is that you rather hear that and hear he can even abuse you, and you'll watch that. But when somebody say, "Hey, go pick up this free book at the library," for your child that go in one ear, out the other, and you wonder why your kids end up the way maybe you did, right? Your kids are a reflection of yourself. And if you don't give them any better game than you had, what do you expect? Do you really, I mean, it would break your heart if your kids followed all your bad patterns, right? You want to kill some of them demons, I would think. You know, kids got $1,000 inventory of pixels, but think of 401k as a type of energy drink. Are we raising champions? Are we really raising kids? Are we just growing weeds? That's what you gotta ask yourself. I'm trying to have champions. I'm trying to have champions. And the brutal truth, bomb is you didn't ask for this, but it's probably why you wake up every morning absolutely hating that dead end job. Your entire skill set is maxed out in TikTok dances, oil changes, and knowing which filters make you look least depressed. But money investing, how the actual monopoly board of capitalism works, you got 0 points. And you're getting absolutely bodied every single turn because nobody ever taught you is what you're telling yourself. But what did you go seek after? You might have been at the club, you might have been at Starbucks, you might have been everywhere else at the game, at the concert, but did you turn on and try to say, let me go holler and get some coaching, get some mentorship, go to the free SBA, Apex accelerators, score. You get embodied. You get embodied, and you don't want your kids to be like that. And it doesn't matter if you're broke or if you have a paycheck to paycheck with the biggest, bag. I know people who have the biggest bag and they're so in debt. The biggest bag, that government, government type money, but in governments are in debt. So man, you ain't got to be like that. Stop complaining. You know, nobody did anything to you, but it's just, hey, books like this you might read this book and say, oh man, I learned something. I learned how other societies won and how the financial system works. Think about it. People have the life insurance, or they don't have life insurance, but they got car insurance, they got phone insurance, and some folks don't even have that. And again, depending on where you are in the world, maybe you don't need it. But I just it gets a lot, and I'm not here for the excuses. I'm just here to give you guys the game that books like this, so you know how things started, how things are now. You can find correlation. You can find the causation, and you can just, become a better you. I enjoyed going through this book. And like I said, we just got it, so I didn't finish it, but I was kind of driving and